person drinking tea over there. Isn't that Yelan? Oh, looks like she's having some kind of tea party with friends. We're just in time. Aren't we gonna go say hi?
Well, Officer Edler, after all that work, I think we've got them this time. Might take a few days to wrap up things in the field. In the meantime, I think you've earned yourself a break.
Much appreciated, Miss Yelan. This case really took it out of me. 13 strongholds. One thieving weasel after another. We rounded up so many people, you almost start to hope a few were innocent, just to balance it out. I'm just glad we finally took down these crooks. Anyway, I'm gonna drop in on that old classmate of mine in Chaoying Village and reminisce about old times.
Don't forget to take some tea and dim sum back to your friends at the Maison Gardiennage.
Oh, looks like Yelan's friend left. Paimon kinda wanted to meet her.
Ah, another pleasant surprise. Traveler, Paimon, take a seat. Excuse me, a pot of your finest Yunlai white tea, if you would. And 2 more place settings. Now, judging by that expression, I assume you came over to ask about the 2 spies that were just watching us.
Ah! Spies? What spies? There were spies around here just now?
Oh, more than that, I'm sure. I bet they already sent someone to tail Officer Edler. Anything to foil our operation.
Oh, so you're tracking down some criminals? They've got some nerve spying on you like that. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon.
Well, those tend to be the kinds of cases that cross my desk. If I could leave it to someone else, I would. I could have been on vacation right now. Mora laundering, to the tune of 10 figures and counting.
Laundry? What does that have to do with Mora? And who are these figures? There are 10 of them?
In layman's terms, a certain merchant in Fontaine possesses a large amount of Mora obtained through illicit means. But it's easy to get caught when you're moving that kind of cash. So you cover your tracks, create a front to avoid detection, and what do you know? Your illegal Mora now looks completely legit. And this merchant's front of choice? Fine art and antique auctioneering. He buys goods from all over Tevat, brings them back to Fontaine, and rebrands them as pieces of fine art, driving up their price in the process. Then, when the items go to auction, he buys them up at their inflated price with his own illicit funds. And through this exchange, the proceeds he receives in return are clean. This process allows him to legitimize his illicit wealth. He even launders Mora for other criminals as well, a business which earned him the title, the Dark Financier. That's to be expected, I suppose. In Chenyu Vale, you can get your hands on exquisite antiques without breaking the bank. Tea sets, porcelain, jade, statues, all easily marketed as pieces of fine art. Liyue goods being used in illicit underground schemes poses a real threat to our trade standing in the long run. So, instead of getting to enjoy my long-awaited vacation in Fontaine, it's back to work for me.
Okay, Paimon thinks she gets it now. It's like moving Mora from one hand to the other. In other words, just disguising where it originally came from. But if you know what this merchant is up to, shouldn't it be pretty easy to catch him? You go to the auction, wait for him to appear, then nab him right as he goes to purchase his expensive piece of Liyue art.
Not a bad plan, Paimon. But there are too many loose ends. If you were the mastermind behind this whole scheme, would you really expose yourself as the face of the operation?
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't want to be seen doing the dirty work. You'd send someone else instead. Like, if Paimon was the bad guy, she'd send the Traveler. No, wait! Even if Paimon turned bad, the Traveler would never. Paimon would need, like, A group of minions or something! Oh. Oh! Paimon gets it now! Even if you track down the goods, if this dark financier guy isn't the one doing the buying at the auction, you won't catch him!
It's not just a matter of who's at the auction. You also have to source the goods, transport them back to Fontaine, get them to the auction house, none of which are tasks he performs himself. He has a whole crew to hide behind. Tracking down the goods is already complicated enough. They change hands so many times, the trail is almost impossible to follow. So the most logical course of action is to play the long game. You start small. You find someone you can follow behind all the smoke screens, who'll lead you straight back to the dark financier himself.
Wait! So you were just pretending? And to think, Paimon thought all that stuff about wrapping up the case and taking a break was actually true!
Right you are, Traveler. Working with the Millilith and Officer Edler, we managed to launch attacks on all of the Dark Financier's strongholds, which allowed us to nab most of his crew. Those spies just now were his most important agents, the two people he trusts to have direct contact with him. The first is Corday, a senior member of the Fontaine Antique Association, in charge of auctioning off the goods. And the other is Dodamani, a ship owner from Sumeru and longtime cargo transporter. They're under pressure to salvage the situation, so we let them slip through the cracks on purpose. The goal is to make them think that, by some stroke of luck, they're in the clear and have room to act. They think keeping tabs on Officer Edler will allow them to operate under her radar and get whatever remains of their goods out of Liyue. But little do they know, while their attention's fixed on her, I'll be secretly gathering the intel that's gonna bring them crashing down. So, interested in coming along for the ride? I'm curious how you take to this line of work. Could be some potential there.
Yeah, we kinda stumbled into this whole thing, but now we're a part of it too. Let's do it! For Yelan, for the people of Chenyavale, and for, the Liyue business world!
I admire your selflessness, Traveler and Paimon. Let me be the one to look out for your self-interests then. Namely, your payment. How about we do this the Fontainian way? You'll get exactly what a top agent receives for a dangerous field mission. Getting started is always the hardest part, but luckily, I have a lead. The Dark Financier's crew is even more on guard than usual, so our best bet is to do some counter-surveillance to get on the right track. And I think I know just the place to start. Let's head northeast and see if I'm right. All right, let's start our investigation here.
So, we can all agree this is just a normal stretch of wilderness, right? Paimon doesn't see any bad guys to nab around here.
Well, it didn't take long for you to understand our role here, Traveler. Thinking like a top agent already. Impressive. Like I said, we need to start small. If we want to track down the man himself, our best bet is to start with his goods. So right now, finding his stock is our #1 priority. And to do that, locating his hidden stronghold is imperative. Which brings us to why we're here. Pretty good vantage point from up here, don't you think?
Huh, guess so. Paimon can see the port of Yilong Wharf, the boats in the distance, and some kind of tower. What's that for?
It's a lighthouse. The Millilith use it to monitor the situation at sea. In addition, the flashing of the light can also serve as a means of communication. Oh, let's hear it. Not too far off at all, Traveler. The Millilith maintain an impeccable level of security in Shenyu Vale through consistent patrolling. This location offers a perfect vantage point to observe their lighthouse signals and deduce their patterns of behavior, which is a huge help if you need to move goods under the radar. So we should be able to find traces of the Dark Financier's scouts in this area.
Oh, okay. Paimon doesn't quite follow, but she'll take your word for it.
It's simple. Just take this forensic imaging device and investigate the surrounding area. As long as we're meticulous, I'm positive we'll find something. Well, all set? Remember, an eye for detail is key. Clues are often hidden in plain sight. Some good finds. Whatever door this key opens could be critical to the investigation. And this carrier pigeon tube contains several coded messages.
Huh. So there really is evidence around here. It's like these guys aren't even afraid of getting caught. What if the Millilith noticed them spying and decided to investigate?
These objects suggest the Dark Financier scouts were likely disguised as fishermen. People like that are trained not to crack under pressure. All they'd need to do is come up with a believable excuse, like needing a place to rest. The Millilith can't investigate or apprehend a civilian without probable cause.
Paimon can just see their smug faces getting away with something like that.
Not to mention, the traces on these objects are fresh, which means the scout here is still active and wasn't among those caught by Officer Edler. So we need to stay vigilant. We can't let them know we're still on their tail. I had a hunch this area was being used as a lookout, and I was right. But that still leaves the question of where the goods are hidden. Any ideas? Spot on again, Traveler. Looks like you don't need anyone to hold your hand when it comes to deductive reasoning. Given a carrier pigeon's speed, the two locations should be close enough to deliver messages quickly. That means the base we're looking for should be within a certain radius. Ruling out areas within line of sight of the lighthouse, as well as places with a lot of foot traffic.
That just leaves the shallows to the north of Mount Mingyuan?
That certainly sounds plausible. You have the cover of the mountains, and the advantage of hiding right under the authorities' noses. Well, our next destination is decided then. Let's go.
And nothing out of the ordinary here, either.
That's right. No detail is too small to investigate. I believe in you. The evidence could be even more well hidden this time. All set? All right. I know you have an eye for detail, so use it to your advantage. You've got this.
Definitely wasn't easy to find.
Well, well. Looks like you tracked it down in no time at all. I see your potential as a solo field agent, Traveler. Now, time to test out the key we found earlier. Let's see what surprises could be in store. This isn't their home turf, so I doubt they had time to set more traps. Should make our lives easier. I'll take it from here. The last thing we want is to leave traces behind in there. Caution is the name of the game. You two keep a lookout. Make sure no one barges in while I'm in there.
You got it! This is a first for us, but the Traveler can do anything. He's got your back! Good point. Yelan doesn't make mistakes like that.
All right, that's done. I've noted the features of all the porcelain items, vases, and teas stored here. We need to keep a lookout for these features at the auction and pinpoint the person attempting to purchase the corresponding goods. Then, we can let them lead us to our main target.
Wow, that was fast! You must do that all the time, huh?
Now, we wait. There are countless auctions in Fontaine. We can't possibly monitor them all. Besides, that would be a waste of personnel. I'll continue to conduct surveillance in the area, keep tabs on the situation, and attempt to decipher their coded messages. Once his two lackeys move the goods, we can shift our focus to the upcoming auction. And then, we'll have somewhere to start.
Got it! All we can do now is wait. Wait, and then follow them straight to the guy behind this whole thing so we can give him the old 1-2 punch!
This whole time, Officer Edler has been leading her two stalkers on a wild goose chase around Chaoying Village. Once they decide it was all a waste of time, it's her turn to tail them instead. Not to mention our operation has already put them under extreme pressure. We've forced their hand. I doubt they'll last more than 2 days before making a move. So let's meet back up at Yilong Wharf in 2 days. Find me near the harbor.
Well, it's been 2 days. Let's go meet up with Yelan. Ooh! Paimon's getting excited! Searching for evidence, tracking down a crime boss. It's like being a real detective!
Well done, you two. Right on time. The day after we infiltrated the storage facility, the Dark Financier's two lackeys, Corday and Dodamani, started moving the goods. See that ship? It's the one Dodamani dispatched to transport the goods. It operates under the guise of a joint passenger and freight vessel.
Whoa! That's one huge boat! Paimon can see all the goods piled up on the pier. Seems like it's transporting quite a few passengers to Lumidus Harbor as well.
Thinking 2 steps ahead? I like it. You're a fast learner. If Corday and Dodamani think the authorities are onto them, it's possible the goods they're sending to Lumidus Harbor are a whole bunch of nothing. Just bait to flush out the law enforcement on their tail. But we need to be careful. Several members of the crew have confessed that a veteran treasure hoarder known as Scamface is involved with the Dark Financier. As an escaped convict, Scamface is a master of staying hidden. Based on our earlier investigation, it's clear he's the one who's been doing reconnaissance on the Millilith's lighthouse. I'll circle the area to draw Scamface's attention away from the scene, while you two inspect the goods. Remember to keep a low profile.
Yeah! And Paimon will do her best to float closer to the ground. No higher than the Traveler's shoulder.
All set? All set? All right, we'll meet back up here once you're done.
Okay, so no fakes. These people are definitely anxious to get their goods to Fontaine all in one go. But did you see the strange markings on some of them? Huh, wonder what they mean. Let's go ask Yelan!
Good work. As for the auction, Officer Edler was able to gather some useful intel too. We're almost certain their target is the auction taking place at the Hotel de Boer in 2 days. The markings you managed to capture were applied with a special kind of paint. Almost impossible to notice without some kind of specialized tech, like the forensic imaging device. I think we're looking at a treasure hoarder insignia. Each big shot in the organization has their own, almost like a personal signature. And considering what we know about the case, I'd wager this is Scamface's handiwork. Based on the port manifest, it looks like the marked goods include fertilizer from Sumeru, local fireworks, soap, and perfume.
So, nothing special then? Just some farming products and everyday necessities?
Fertilizer, soap, and perfume. No, there's something going on there. Might be risky, but I'm gonna investigate on board, and hitch a ride to Fontaine while I'm at it.
Yeah! Let's see this thing through! Paimon's gotta know what's going on here.
Well, you've proved yourself so far, so I don't see a problem with that. Just know once we board the ship, we're bound to come face to face with Corday and Dodamani. So make sure you're prepared. The investigation might look a little different this time.
Excuse me, passengers. Due to limited space in the cargo hold, we've been forced to store some of the goods on the deck. We apologize for the inconvenience.
Ah, please, no need to apologize for your success in business. I just hope it rubs off on the rest of us.
It looks like all the goods marked with Scamface's insignia have Corday listed as the shipper. Dodamani is in the cargo hold, likely making sure all the goods are in place for delivery.
Are they inspecting something? Why are they rifling through the boxes? Paimon can't make sense of it.
Here, take this cipher. It should help you figure out their coded messages. This is the plan. While I distract Corday and Dodamani, you two investigate the goods marked with Scamface's insignia. We might learn something useful. By all means, I trust your judgment.
Huh? Wait! You're just gonna go up and talk to those guys? Yelan!
Oh, excuse me, gentlemen, but have we met? You're Mr. Corday, a famous antique collector in the Quartier Lyonnais, correct? I believe the three of us have had the pleasure of meeting once before. At Jiuguan Tea House in Yilong Wharf, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh? You...
Ah, the Dice Master of Yenshang Tea House. It's a pleasure, Miss Yelan.
Oh, so you've heard of me too?
Yes, I had an absolutely delectable cup of tea there once. One can hardly leave Yenshang Tea House without hearing about your legendary dice skills. I suppose something keeps bringing us together. A shared love of tea, perhaps?
Yes, that must be it. Well, looks like we ran into each other at the perfect time. I'm heading to Fontaine on vacation, you see. Any recommendations on where I should visit? Someplace I could find an exquisite tea set, perhaps. Like a fine art exhibition, or an auction. I hear Fontainian black tea has a unique flavor. I imagine your tea sets are a sight to behold as well.
You...
Ah, does this gentleman have an interest in tea sets as well?
Of course. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Yelan. I'm also heading to Fontaine for travel. Corday's invitation, you see. In fact, I'm the one who owns this ship.
Yep. Yelan is actually talking to them. Are we sure that's a good idea? All right. Then let's go somewhere out of their line of sight so we can start investigating those boxes. What's with the strong smell coming from these boxes? Must be a bunch of stuff mixed together. And there's a strange note. But Paimon can't read what it says. Yelan really thinks of everything, huh? But, you know how to use this thing, right? Well, what does it say? Blowing up the ship? Are they nuts? Paimon thought this was about getting the authorities off their tails, not drawing even more attention. Okay, Yelan was right. This guy is a complete lunatic. There are innocent people on this ship. We need to find and disarm those bombs as soon as possible. That's all the bombs on the deck. What about the cargo hold? Do we have enough time?
Already taken care of. Good work, you two. You stayed calm and acted fast. That was the perfect response to a situation like this.
Yelan! Honestly, it's all thanks to you. It was your idea to board the ship, and we never would have been able to figure out that message without your cipher. Wait a sec. We're at Corday and Dodamani.
Recovering from the shock, I would imagine. Suddenly finding out that you're being targeted by a dangerous individual. That must have been quite the ordeal for you, gentlemen. Almost lost your cargo and your lives in one fell swoop.
Indeed. To think such evil exists in this world. I can scarcely imagine what I did to offend this fellow. Resorting to murder like this, it's quite unfathomable.
Well, no need to fear. I'll alert the Maison Gardiennage at once and ask them to send agents to Lumidus Harbor. The two of you are clearly in need of protection. Your cargo will also need to be handed over to the authorities for inspection, Mr. Corday, just to eliminate any remaining hazards. After which, the Maison Gardiennage will escort it all to its intended destination, of course. So, if I may, where are your goods heading, Mr. Corday?
To the Hotel de Boer for an auction in 2 days.
Ah, then rest assured. The Maison Gardiennage is full of diligent and responsible personnel. You can trust that your goods will arrive at the auction without a scratch.
Our sincerest thanks.
You scared the life out of Paimon, Yelan! Going right up to them like that? What if they caught on and decided to, try something desperate?
It's not a question of if, Paimon. I'm sure they caught on. But in the interest of their own survival, they had no choice but to play along. Now we can be sure the Dark Financier is getting desperate. The stint on the ship? That was him trying to cut his losses to save his own skin. He needs to get rid of anything that could be traced back to him. So, you blow up the ship. You send the goods meant for the auction straight to the bottom of the sea, and let Scamface take the heat. The last thing he wanted was for the goods to make it to the auction, but now we've ensured that they will, so he has no choice but to follow through. He could choose not to send one of his agents to the auction, and let his goods go to an unsuspecting buyer instead. But remember, their worth is inflated. It would only be a matter of time before the buyer realized the valuation was off and reported it to the authorities. As the seller, Corday would be staring down a potential conviction. At best, the Dark Financier has to find a new kind of moral laundering scheme. At worst, he loses one of his last reliable agents in Fontaine. Exactly. Our trail of evidence remains intact, and we let the buyer at the auction lead us closer to the Dark Financier.
Okay, that means, can we go over this again?
Don't worry. I'm sure the Traveler will explain it again in Paimon-friendly language. We're in the home stretch, and taking advantage of this auction is crucial. So come prepared to see this through. Officer Edler already has an informant stationed at the scene. This invitation letter will get you into the auction. I'll meet you at the Hotel de Boer in 2 days.
Alright, time to meet back up with Yelan. Our destination? A very important auction at the Hotel de Boer. This is our chance to catch the culprit behind this whole scheme.
Good evening, patrons. Allow me to escort you to the auction.
Oh, Paimon's getting a little nervous. But We gotta keep it together. This is our best chance to catch these guys. Wow! This place is packed. Is every rich person in Fontaine here or something? Oh, wait! The people we're after are hiding here too! It's time to get serious. Paimon knows just the thing! What? It's not like we're rich like the rest of these people. We need a little something to blend in. Besides, if we're here as honest, hard-working detectives, we might as well look the part. Too bad. Paimon doesn't have another. But she'll help you make one once this is all over. An even cooler pair.
Well, you two seem raring to go. Good to see you're not nervous. But remember, the key to blending into an event like this is remaining calm and collected. Slow your breathing, tone down the emotion. We don't want to stand out.
Yelan? It is you, right? It must be you!
Well, I am the current owner of the Yenshang Tea House after all, as well as an honored guest at this auction. So, I thought something with more of a Fontainian flair might be nice. A special outfit for a special occasion. Why? Does it look bad?
No, not at all!
All right. Well, let the vacation begin. We have an auction to crash. You two are expert investigators at this point. With us working together, I'd say our chances of success are stacked higher than the cake towers in the Hotel de Boer.
We sure make a great team, but now that we're at the auction, what's our actual game plan?
This time your mission is simple. Take this dossier and pay attention to the items being auctioned. When the Dark Financier's antiques are up, all you need to do is bid. We want to drive up the price and create a bidding frenzy.
Wait, so we get to actually take part in the auction?
Thoughtless bidding usually leads to a warning, or even disqualification. But the special account you two will be using during the bidding has no credit limit. So you can drive up the price as high as you want. The more chaos we create, the better. The Dark Financier knows we're on his tail, so I highly doubt he sent one of his trusted agents here. The buyer is likely someone disposable, a scapegoat of sorts. After the incident with the ship, several buyers registered for the auction at the last minute. They're all wearing special pins, signifying them as tea aficionados. Our target should be among them. And I'm sure he's terrified, because if a different buyer develops an interest in one of their inflated goods and wins the bid, it's game over for both Corday and the Dark Financier. Not to mention the buyer has limited funds at his disposal. The Dark Financier likes to work in small sums at a time, so his scapegoat can't go too overboard with the bidding.
Okay, so complicated stuff aside, the point is, they have a plan, and our goal is to mess it up. If Paimon was in their shoes, that would make her pretty nervous too.
There's seating reserved for special guests on the second floor. I'll be up there during the bidding to keep an eye on things, and to see if anyone starts to squirm. One thing going wrong might not be enough to slip him up, but target him again and again, and trust me, he'll feel the heat. Once the auction is over, we'll find somewhere secluded to corner the buyer and have a nice little chat.
Yeah! We're on a winning streak, and we're not about to let up.
He's acting strange, and there's something off with his attire. No mistake, that's our guy. His tea aficionado pin is a special color. Most likely to make it easier for Corday to keep tabs on him and the situation as a whole. Which means the two don't know each other well at all. That's something we can use to our advantage.
Wow, I can't believe I won the bid for this antique painted vase. Should be a wonderful addition to my home decor.
Did you see those tea sets from Chenyu Vale? People were bidding on them left and right. My goodness, those final numbers. Far too high for my pocketbook.
This was not how it was meant to go. Where did those two come from?
Whatever your employer is offering you, the Maison Gardiennage will double it.
You! I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that so? Well, you might be interested to know that this hitman over here is also on a need-to-know basis. If the person wearing the blue pin loses their bid, find somewhere secluded and eliminate them. All he can do is follow orders, I suppose.
Eliminate?
You lucked out, kid. Getting cornered by the law just saved your life.
No, this can't be happening. The boss said that even if I got sent to the Fortress of Meropide, all I had to do was keep my mouth shut and he would find a way to get me out. And he even paid me 3 million in advance. On that alone, I could get my wife the best medicine, help her hang on for a few more years. But then, one auction goes wrong. Just one. And what? He's afraid I'm gonna talk? So now I'm just collateral damage?
You're risking your life to do this guy's dirty work and pad his pockets with even more cash. Compared to what he's making, what you get in return are nothing but the scraps.
I've got at least 70 people just like you locked up in the Maison Gardiennage. Need them to tell you where this ends?
No need. I'm guessing you're offering me a way out. What do you need me to do, officer?
All you need to do is arrange a meeting with your boss and have a little chat.
My boss, he's extremely careful about that kind of thing. I've only met him 3 times, to pick up the advance, to go over the plan, and to get the funds for the auction. The best I can do is take you to the place I'm supposed to deliver the goods. There's a certain method I can use to get in contact with him in case of emergencies.
All right then. But first, we need to search your home for evidence related to the case.
Phew! Mission accomplished. You managed to get through to him so fast, Yelan. Paimon almost couldn't believe it.
Well, he was already nervous and uncertain. All it took was a sincere negotiation. Once I laid his interests out on the table, it didn't take much for him to realize he stands to gain more with us than his boss. Plus, we had some very convincing performances to help seal the deal. Especially you, officer. You make an excellent hitman.
Well, it's been a while since I've gotten to tap into a villain like that. Thought I could've pushed it a little more, honestly.
Are you kidding? Paimon felt like she was face to face with one of our bad guys of the week.
Well, what's next, Yelan? Want me to go after Corday or Dodamani?
The Sumeru authorities have Dodamani covered. They're just waiting on our signal, and they'll nab him once he makes it back to Beta Harbor. The Millilith are pursuing Scamface, so that just leaves Corday. Tail him, but be sure to keep your distance. We don't want him to tip anyone off.
You got it. I love it when a plan comes together like this.
All right then. We'll reconvene 12 hours from now, when our new double agent will lead us into the Lion's Den. It's time for the dark financier to face the music.
All right, this is where the boss told me to bring the goods. This area is full of apartments and warehouses for rent. The Maison Gardiennage came through not too long ago to keep trouble off the streets. I guess boss thinks it's safer to operate right under their noses. Now, to arrange an emergency meeting, we need to activate a series of mechanisms to send him a signal. But to tell you the truth, I have no idea how to activate them. The only hint boss gave was that the code had something to do with colors. Maybe he was planning to give me more information after the auction, but that plan fell through, obviously.
Paimon was hoping it would be smooth sailing at this point. But no, of course. There's yet another obstacle. Well, after all the investigating it took us to get this far, figuring out what to do with these mechanisms should be a piece of cake.
Detective, I wanted to ask. Since I've cooperated with the investigation and all, do you think I'll get a lighter sentence?
That's for the Maison Gardiennage and the court to decide. But I think your attitude will work in your favor.
I'm glad I came to my senses when I did. Otherwise, I'd be done for sure.
If all goes to plan, this should be the last phase of the investigation. It's a shame, I know. But all good things must come to an end. All right. Then let's see those detective skills in action. All right, the mechanisms have been activated. Now, all we have to do is wait for our target to take the bait.
You know what? For some strange reason, Paimon's not nervous at all.
My dear Monsieur Diderot, here to make excuses for your complete failure at the auction? Or to fish for a bigger cut? Accidents happen, of course. What I care about is whether you have the spine to deal with the consequences.
So you do believe in consequences. Seems a bit ironic, coming from the likes of you.
Oh? A trap, I presume. I've set a fair share of those myself. I suppose it's about time I stumbled into one set by someone else. No matter. Sometimes you take a chance on someone who turns out to be a disappointment. It's happened before. It's not easy to earn the dark financier Rovere Pelliccia's respect, but I must say, you three detectives are a force to be reckoned with. I suppose congratulations are in order. 6 months of planning and execution was all it took to take down a Mora laundering organization decades in the making. I have to hand it to the Fontaine and Liyue authorities. Your operation really has been a roaring success.
Why is the Dark Financier so polite? Not the kind of crime boss Paimon was expecting.
Oh, do be serious. You thought you'd corner me, and then what? I just surrender?
If you want to do this the easy way, then yes. You know you're out of options.
For 2 months, I've watched you and Officer Edler dismantle my organization piece by piece. As you cut off my limbs, gouged out my eyes, deafened my ears. I was helpless to stop it.
So you're planning on taking us down with you, is that it? Never heard that one before.
My livelihood is in tatters, Agent Yelan. Hundreds I had working under me, hundreds. And now, they're either locked up or useless. Corday is the only one who still has some value. My Mora laundering days are over, we both know that. And considering how your operation's been progressing, it was only a matter of time before you locked on to me. I'm usually one to quit while I'm ahead, but you see, there's only so much a man can lose before he starts to get rather angry. So, Agent Yelan, even if the only score I get to settle here today is ending your precious life, well, that's a high I'll ride straight to the bank.
Ah! Clockwork Mecha! Paimon takes back what she said! This isn't very polite at all!
An old military model. Bet these go for big bucks on the black market. You two have been a huge help, but this fight is mine. 'Cause as it so happens, he isn't the only one who has a score to settle here. If he wants to bring on the drama, then I'm more than happy to give him a show. Gotcha! Things are about to get dicey. Gutsy. Quietly now. Really, gotcha. Game's up. Fun's over. Quietly now.
Unbelievable. You've bested me, fair and square.
Any last words? Perhaps a bit too dramatic, isn't it? I'd rather not give a soapbox to a piece of scum like you. No, I think I'll say my piece instead. You can pretend to have seen the error of your ways, but it doesn't matter, because you're going to rot in prison for the rest of your life. And every moment of every day you'll be cursing the greed that put you there. Every coin of dirty money that you've pocketed over the years is just another nail in your coffin. And all you'll be able to do is curl up in the corner of your cell like a dying animal and waste away whatever remains of your pathetic life.
You're not a detective, no. You're some kind of demon.
If you knew what's good for you, you'd have walked away from this fight. But it's too late for that now. Whew. After 6 months of hard work, I finally get to tick off the mission accomplished box at the end of the case file. Take this guy back to the court of Fontaine to stand trial. Don't let him try anything. With any luck, we'll get to send him off to prison before the day is out. Oh, Miss Yelan, Traveler, Paimon. As a personal thanks for all your help, you deserve half of the bonus I'm getting for this case. I will also request that the Maison Gardiennage extend our utmost thanks to our partners in Liyue.
I appreciate the sentiment, Officer Edler, but that's too kind. I was just doing my job. I can't, in good conscience, accept even a single Mora. I'll have to pass up any invitations for banquets or tea tastings as well. If you want to reward someone for going above and beyond during this operation, it should be the Traveler and Paimon.
Wow. Paimon's had her detective cap on for so long, analyzing all those clues and trying to uncover their schemes, that her brain hurts. But at the same time, she feels smarter than before. Maybe Paimon really does have what it takes to be a real detective.
Well, if you're interested in this line of work, we're heading to the Maison Gardiennage to get a confession out of these guys. Did you want to tag along?
You really mean it? Yes! 100% yes! Oh, is that okay, Traveler? Paimon's gonna go with Officer Edler and learn some cool new detective skills! Who knows? Maybe they'll come in handy someday. All right! Then let's rendezvous outside the Palais Memonia!
Well, both our lives can get back to normal now, Traveler. After talking about it for so long, I finally have the chance to enjoy a real vacation. Mind humoring me for a bit, Traveler? What a nice night. Fresh from maritime flowers, fragrant perfume from the shop on the corner, the rich aroma of coffee beans, all blended together in the night breeze. Makes for quite the relaxing atmosphere. If only we were on a rooftop terrace somewhere, enjoying a few glasses of sparkling wine and getting pleasantly tipsy. All right, then let's look for a place to stop. I wonder what special drinks the hidden taverns of this city offer. Oh, but first, I wanted to head to the Confrérie of Cabrières before it closes. Mind helping me pick out some perfume to go with this outfit? I also heard about the intricate timepieces, clockwork furnishings, and fine jewelry you can get around here. There should be quite a few souvenirs worth perusing. Well, with the most cultured traveler in all of Teyvat by my side, I should take advantage of this opportunity. I'm counting on you not to steer me wrong. I'm satisfied. This has been a nice trip abroad. A very nice trip indeed. I wish I could take my time, maybe extend my stay a few more days. No one likes to be rushed on vacation. It can't be helped. Duty calls. I still have to write up a formal report on the case and develop a more sophisticated cargo inspection system. Then I'm off to the location of my next assignment. Nodcry. No, nothing like that. Just meeting an intelligence partner to decide on a mutually beneficial agreement going forward, and to set some boundaries. I'll fill you in later. For now, why don't we take a picture together to commemorate this exciting trip to Fontaine? That's right. After this, I know I can trust you to have my back, Traveler. Or should I say, Agent. I say we put the forensic imaging device to use one last time to take this picture. Perhaps we'll cross paths in Nodcry. If so, I hope this collaboration was just the first of many.